Hey guys, this is my midday on August 9th here, and I got so much to share with you guys. And I just did something really stupid. I was trying to prop up I have a tripod kind of camera thing, but I wanted to I'm trying to share with you guys as best I can, and I'm no cinematographer. And I'm standing right by a lake right now, and as I was setting up the tripod, I knocked the first piece right into the lake. So anyway, so I'm kind of just have it propped up right now, so you're not going to get to see the lake behind me. But I've got some really exciting things to share with you. I want to give you an update for the next couple of days, and I just can't understand or believe some of the stuff that is happening for me and to me. So today is Thursday, and I woke up this morning, if you saw my morning videos, and I didn't really have an idea where I was going to go. And then Jim, who was so gracious to me yesterday, called me and kind of was helping me out, wanting to make sure I'm safe as I head into Chicago. And he told me about this kind of on Thursdays here in Hobart, they have this festival of sorts every Thursday night. They have music and food trucks, and people are around, and they play a movie outside from 9 to 11. And while I don't have any place to stay yet lined up for tonight or tomorrow night as I talk about these things, right now it's just amazing what's happening so far. So you know, again, as I tried to tell people earlier, I could walk 20 miles to Hammond today hoping to find some people and a story. And I said, you know, when Jim offered this to me, I said, well, I've got a story right here. Why would I need to go up there? And I know that I have some plans for Friday I'm going to tell you about, which are crazy exciting for me, and hopefully for you. You'll be excited for me. That I'm going to be doing that on Friday. So I think tomorrow I'm going to be getting with Jim and trying to find a train schedule, and I might take a train up into Chicago and kind of take it from there. So maybe someone on a train will be a story. Maybe there'll be a commuter. So I'm a little leery about walking into Chicago, not knowing the city, not knowing the major highways, and there's been a lot of shootings and things like that people are still trying to tell me I shouldn't be going to the church I'm going to in the morning. But anyway, let me go back to today. So today is Thursday, and so I made plans, and Leah, Pastor Leah and her husband Matt were so gracious to me last night. They were coming back into town around 10 o'clock this morning. So they said, well, we'll drop you off in town, and everything's within a few block radius. So they came in, dropped me off, and I was going to kind of maybe head over to the VFW and thank some vets, and if they'd accept me in there. I'm not a member, clearly. And I started to walk around downtown a little bit, and I got a call from Jim, and Jim said, holy cow, he didn't say that. There's a school of fish down here, little ones, but got to be 300 deep. Anyway, so let me get quicker here so I don't hold you guys up. He called me and said, hey, do me a favor. I've got a friend of mine, and I might have this wrong. He's a former police officer. He's with me in the Corps. He works with the Parks Department. He said, call this young lady, Kelly. You know, she heads up this thing, and you know, she's down there now if you want to go maybe meet with her. They're setting up for the night. And you know, he was saying that, you know, he thinks that she'd probably be willing to give you like a little table to kind of have people come by and meet you and, you know, share your story. So if that happens, which would be phenomenal, I mean, what an opportunity to meet people and tell them, you know, straight up what Point the Thumb means to me, and you know, how it can help and things like that. So already this morning, my plans got laid out for today, and I left Kelly a voicemail. And then while I was waiting, I got a text from Gary. Now, Gary's a gentleman who's never met me before, but he has been so proactive in trying to help me get settled or help me get around Chicago and things trying to, from a safety standpoint, from a knowledge standpoint, from a lining up some things for me. So Gary had texted me and said, hey Jim, I was able to clear my schedule, and I got a couple of things I'd love to tell you about. I'm kind of excited even. Call me as soon as you can so I can firm these things up. So I called him back and said, hey, my plan is to take a train in the morning. I still want to go to I don't know if it's St. Sabina's or St. Sabrina's on 79th and Racine, which apparently I think is a kind of a pretty rough neighborhood right now. But then I was going to just kind of head into what I call the touristy area. So he said, well, I'll tell you what. He goes, meet me around 11 in downtown. We'll work that out later. And he said, I got a couple of things lined up. And he asked me, are you interested in hearing about them? I said, yeah, heck yeah, I am. So a couple of nights ago, I was with some great people, Scott and Kelly, and they were telling me, sharing a story with me about where they got to participate in an honor flight. Now, many of you probably know what an honor flight is. I'm sure I'm going to mistell it a little bit, but I think I have the gist of it. So those of you that don't know, an honor flight basically is local states or chapters or committees take requests from folks that want to recognize a veteran of our country who fought for our country and our freedom. And maybe some of these folks weren't quite recognized appropriately upon their return. Maybe they were, but we just want to take an opportunity as a country to recognize them. But they can't do it. They cannot do it for everybody. So you submit essentially a letter requesting it. And an honor flight is they take these veterans of our country and they fly them down to D.C. and they have a ceremony for them down in D.C. thanking them for their service to our country. And then they fly them back home. And as I understand it, that when they're flying back home, they don't know it, but they usually come back to a hero's welcome. They come back to a parade of folks cheering them on, thanking them for their service. And as Kelly was telling me, her and Emma, her daughter, had gotten separated from Scott and Seth up at the front, and they were kind of at the back of the line. And the person that they knew, and I'm not quite sure if it was a relative or not at the moment, but he basically grabbed Kelly by the shoulders and looked at her and said, "This was the greatest day of my life." And to be able to do that for anybody in any capacity is kind of amazing. So anyway, this gentleman, Gary, who came known to me by a young lady in Ohio named Doris, who I've also never met, but this is showing how our PTT family is growing. Doris, when she heard I was going to Chicago, reached out to Gary and said, "Gary, you gotta get a hold of this guy." And I believe they worked together way back in the day. And if I remember correctly, I think Gary said they worked at Sears in some capacity. So Doris, thank you for turning me on to Gary. Gary, thank you so much for what you're doing. But Gary serves on the board, I guess, or the committee that handles this. So he is going to take me tomorrow to meet, I believe, the board or maybe the director of this group. And he's going to hope to have a couple of veterans there that I can meet and personally thank. But not only that, I want to share that with you guys. I'm hoping that they'll let me video it and share that with you guys in that moment. So these guys got back late last night, 9:30 from their honor flight, and I'm going to get to hear, talk to, and see something about it. And what a great organization, and what a great thing it is to do. So I don't know if they take donations or anything like that yet. I will look into that and certainly share that with you all as we go. But I just think it's a tremendous opportunity. I'm so flattered and privileged to kind of be able to meet these guys and understand how it works and have them tell it in a lot more detail than I ever could. Man, am I having some kind of hair day. So that's just phenomenal to me. Then Gary shared with me that in the afternoon, he belongs to something called CASA, which if you're a Dr. Phil fan like I am, you often hear him telling people, mostly adults that are somehow mistreating their children, whether physically or emotionally, that he's a court-appointed person that has to report misbehavior, malbehavior. Well, CASA stands for court-appointed, people that are helping this. And Gary again is going to let me allow me or introduce me to the head of the group and the organization and let them talk to you about this. And what these people do is just so extraordinary, because they're giving a voice to children that don't have a voice for themselves. Gary was telling me a story about a little girl that had 12 burn marks on her, and he had to go and investigate this and report it to the courts. And I believe the meeting is going to actually be held in the court. So if I'm lucky and can bring my phone in and meet some of these folks, I might be able to make, give awareness to something so extraordinarily powerful in protecting the children of our world, sometimes from the people that should love them the most. And again, I'm incredibly flattered by that prospect. So Gary, I'm really looking forward to it. So if I can meet with the priest or anybody at the church tomorrow and kind of get a feel for the neighborhood, and maybe some folks will talk to me. Maybe they're tired of hearing how bad the neighborhood is too, and on the news and everything, and want to say, hey, look, there's a lot of good people here too. That's what my journey is about. So I'm willing to kind of go into this area. I've had too many people tell me to be careful. I should be scared. That I guess it's played on my head a little bit. But I think my kids would be proud of me if they know that I'm not just bypassing this area and treating them like they're lepers or something like that. Then the story got even better. So So I got off the phone with Gary. I left where I was. I stopped in Dollar General to pick up a few things. I might have to go back now to get another tripod thing here. Anyway, but then I had missed a phone call. I shut my ringer off in the restaurant I was in, and Kelly from the Parks Department had called me, and she left me a voicemail that said, "Hey, look, Jim, I really want to hear more about your story. You can come meet me down here now. I'm going to go get lunch, but then I'll be back in the office. Hopefully, I think her office might be down that way somewhere, and I'll try to show you a picture of that. But, you know, and I'm sure we could probably get you a table." So in the course of a couple of hours now, I found out some amazing things I'm going to be able to take a part of tomorrow. I've got something to look forward to today in a big way. I'm going to be at a beautiful lake thing, and again, the stories just keep getting better. So, you know, take the journey with me, guys. Be excited for me, because I really am, and I hope I can do justice. If I cannot speak, if I can't get these people on camera when I'm doing them more, I hope I do it even half the justice it deserves. And that's what we got. I just saw a bird just float over. I don't know if you guys can see. Is there like a school of, like, I don't know, 500 fish down there? I don't know if you guys can see that, but I figured I'd share it with you. And then again, here's the lake that I think the party is going to be down that way tonight. And hopefully one of those buildings is the community center where I'm going to meet Kelly at. But anyway, so that's it, guys. Thanks very much for being a part of this. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be ever be part of learning about and meeting some folks from an honor flight and being able to thank them, you know, personally. And you know, to be able to be an advocate or at least give some kind of a voice to what CASA does and how important that is for kids that can't even, you know, protect themselves. They're too young and don't even know how to get help. Will be a real privilege for me. And then to Jim and Doris and Gary and Kelly and all the folks that are going to make today possible for me, I'll never be able to thank you guys enough. So with that, I'm going to be off, guys. I got to, frankly, got to go to the bathroom, and then I'm going to go look for some folks and Kelly and introduce myself and just start what I think is going to be just one more amazing day in the journey. So love you guys all. I'm covering my camera here. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. So I love you guys all. I'll just leave my hair like it is. What the hell? Kira, Landon, you guys are home right now. Oh, actually, Grace is home from vacation. So, guys, Kira, I love you. Grace, I love you. Landon, James, you're the best, buddy. And, hey, guys, thanks for following along, all right? Have a great day.